People, Deluded, I'm back again, man. Thank you very much for tuning in each and every time. In relation to Reiss Nelson's performance in the Premier League appearances he was given this season, I think he's made 16, 17 appearances. I'd give him a 5 out of 10. You don't know me, I'm a big fan of anyone that comes out of Haaland. I'm a big fan of Reiss Nelson. I'm one of those that are going to stand behind Reiss Nelson. I'm going to give him one more real season. You know, Arteta seems to have him as a pet project and retain faith of him, see what happens. You know, I'm not saying he's going to turn world class overnight, but I do think Reiss Nelson has the ability to be a member of this side. Whether he wants to be a first team regular, a squad player that is restricted to cup games, is down to him. You know, he's only 20 and, you know, their careers are different because footballers are different, but you would say Martinelli and Saka's emergence, you know, is the worst thing to happen really to Joe and Nelson. You know, don't get it twisted. I think there's legit question marks over Joe and Nelson and what they can do more and if they can have a future here or if they should be sold. And I give credit to Saka and Martinelli, you know, and I do think there are legit questions. Saka and Martinelli had to be patient. The minute his opportunity come, he's grabbed it. You know, Saka the same. Why haven't Nelson and Joe and the rest of them done that? Why are they not taking to football as much as them? When you look at not just them, but Phil Foden's a bit older, but Phil Foden was coming around them and their ages, and you know, Greenwood of United. When you look at these young players, you're thinking, why can't everybody do it? Which is a fair comment, but at the same time, everybody's developing differently. Everybody's story is different, you know. Saka and Martinelli and Greenwood, they're in the honeymoon periods. No career is just like that. They will go through hardships. They will go through question marks being asked, loss of form. See how everything they're doing touches to gold right now? Everything will turn to dust at a point where things go wrong. This is just the dynamic of what these young men are getting into, being professional footballers. For Nelson, it's down to him if he wants to seize it here. And I think the one good thing is nobody's real, with the exception of, for me, Bukayo Saka, nobody's really nailed down a position up front with Aubameyang, really, and with Laka now and stuff like that. I feel it's Laka raw Eddie, you know. Saka's shown he can play on either flanks as well as other places, but you know, it's pretty interchangeable between Nicolas Pepe, who's reacted well in recent weeks, Saka and Nelson, and the good thing is they're all fighting for one spot. I think Nelson's I think he's struggling with confidence. I think one thing when I look at Nelson, he's a confidence player. I think one of the best games I saw him play this year was in the defeat against Chelsea, I believe, actually. It could have been United, but I think Chelsea, I'm seeing him play with a smile on his face. You know, he's relishing taking on fullbacks. I think at times he hasn't believed in himself fully, you know. Forgive me if I've been wrong, Nelson, and you're watching this, but at times you looked like unsure of yourself. And I'm not saying he needs to be cocky and arrogant, but you've got the ability. Please believe in yourself all the time. You can do this thing. Like, look at Saka and Martinelli. They're not arrogant and acting like Johnny Big Balls and stuff, but they know that they belong at this level. They know they got a long way to go, but they're assured. And I think Nelson needs to get the confidence. I do think his decision making needs to improve, you know. That will come with experience into the first team, but I think the speed of thought within reason should be there, you know. You've played a number of times for Arsenal now. You've had the loan spell at Hoffenheim, which was, you know, a mixed spell, to put it nicely, for him. You know, there was some ups and downs. I want to see speed of thought done a bit quicker. I think he played very well against Liverpool as well, you know, in the victory over there. Positive play from him, and you know, even in his little cameo last game where he come off the bench, I think he done very well. I think there's a player there. I just think he's he's frustrated with his end product. You know, he's not really got that in his locker yet. I think, you know, he's lacking a bit of confidence at this moment in time as well, and I think that's the key thing, and I think that's the biggest thing. I want him to believe in himself. Arteta's going to help him, but Nelson needs to believe in himself that he can make it here. You know, I like Nelson. I think he can play on the right. I think he in time can learn to be effective on the left, could even get away with him in the 10. I actually feel since he's been exposed to first team football, you know, it's almost like his game's changed. I think he's better at the small little tight spaces, 1-2s, versus what I used to see Nelson do, which he done that, but he used to burn his left back or right back. He used to put them on toast, sit them on their arse. He's not really on that. He can do that, but I think confidence is the key thing with him. And I think as well, he's not seized the opportunities fully. You know, Saka and Martinelli, when their chances came, they seized it fully within reason as well. Eddie and Nketiah, when his chance came up front, he seized it and he kept Lacazette out the side. You know, he's got to seize that opportunity next season, or seize it when it does come. Do you get it, people? Because he did have an opportunity. You know, I can't even remember if it's Ljungberg or Arteta, but there was a period, and I wrote this down and had to go through my notes of old. There was a previous Nelson vid, but there was a period he started like the Everton, Chelsea and Bournemouth games within a row. He had 3 opportunities to kind of nail down a spot in this team, and he didn't seize it. So now he has to kind of play the waiting game, and he got his little start against Norwich. You know, this is his first real season being a sort of not just a young player, but we're looking to genuinely use you. But it's been a testing season. Obviously, he's played well in cup competitions when it's come, but the Prem is the bread and butter. And he's only completed 90 minutes once, so you've got to ask yourself why. You know, he's been restricted to a couple sub appearances. He has got a couple decent minutes. Like I said, I knew there was a period. You know, he got 90 minutes against Everton. He got 82 in the draw against Bournemouth. In the defeat to Chelsea, he got 86. So that was the game I was speaking about. He only got 28 in the victory over United. You know. He got 58 against Liverpool. He was good in that game. And he only got 18 against Watford. So he's had some good games, like I said, people. But the next step he's got to develop is, for me, believe in yourself. Belief is key. Believe that you, Reiss Nelson, was destined to play for this club. Believe that you can contribute in your own way. You know, I'd love him to turn into a man that can get 10 goals, 10 assists. But believe when your chance comes, like Martinelli and Saka, you can do a thing. So I'd say confidence. End product, you know, be cerebral, see the picture before it's happened, analyse situations quickly. You know, there's a fast left back, I can't beat him down the flanks, let me change up my play 1-2s. I've got this left back on toast, let me do that. So I want to see better end product, belief, better end product, playing to a greater standard, and really just seizing your opportunities, man. Make it to the point where Saka and Martinelli, again, they made it to the point where they couldn't be left out the side. And I know Arteta left him out the side before his injury, but they're playing to the point fans are bewildered, bordering and angry why they're not in, you know. There was a point we couldn't take Saka out. We've only taken Saka out now when it's apparent that he's tired and we need to, long term, to look after him. You get it? Seize your opportunities. Make sure people can't not play you. You see how Martinez, you know, he can't not play now. When Leno comes back, Leno might even have to wait, you know. Obviously, the next season will start. Saka, nailing it down. Tierney, nailing his chance. You know, Xhaka, retaining Arteta's faith, nailing it down. Aubameyang's a quality player, so he's nailing it down. Do you get it? There was times Maitland-Niles nailed down his role historically at Arsenal. Eddie, there was a period he was starting games despite, on the whole of it, not actually scoring too many goals. Seize your opportunity, Reiss Nelson. You've got the ability, but he's of that age where, you know, he's got to decide if this is what he wants. He's got to make a real go of it. But I think it's only kind of becoming belief. I think at times he's looked overruled. I think he has improved defensively under Arteta, and just generally since he's been exposed to the first team. I still retain faith in him. I think it's a 5 out of 10 season from the lad. You know, he scored his first Premier League goal as well against Liverpool, which is a highlight for any young lad, and we all wanted to dream of doing that as professional footballers, when we all wanted to try and be one. So there's stuff to build upon. I don't think it's been a poor season. I think it's been an underwhelming one in that you would have thought, yeah, Saka and Martinelli are doing their thing, but I would like to have praise Reiss Nelson's exploits. And I think, you know, he struggled, and he also struggles for consistency week in, week out, you know, because he was quality. Believe it, did he start the season? It's been a long season. I'm pretty sure he started against Newcastle. He was quality. Then against Burnley, he only got 45, where he was a bit so-so. So I'd say, you know, understanding that twice a week, maybe 3 times 10 days, I've got to play to a certain standard. Pardon me, which you should be able to do. And again, I'm not pointing. Saka's development is different, but Saka just turned 18. Saka ain't gone on loan. Do you get it? Saka weren't playing Europa League too tough until Emre gave him his chance. You know, you've got 2. Let's just call it 3, because Saka's just turned 18 from turning 17. 3 years on him. Some of these things you should be able to get going. And like I said, it's dangerous to compare. Everyone's thing is different, but I do think there's confidence in. He needs to get his confidence. I do think there's a player of some standard in Reiss Nelson. It's down to him how good he wants to be, but I'm not prepared to give up on him, people. There is a case to loan man out. I'd probably keep him next season. I'd keep him in and around. I think he has got the ability to contribute next season. I am expecting a stronger season from him. Just in terms of what level of the word stronger he performs is down to him, but I retain faith in Nelson. But for me, it's a 5 out of 10, you know. He needs to get his confidence and believe in himself every game. He needs to apply consistency week in, week out. End product needs to improve. Ultimately, he's going to live or die at this club by goals and assists, and that's only going to come with better end product, you know, better crosses, you know, seeing a picture early, playing with your head up, not your head down, and which he knows that, man. He's only 20, you know, he's not going to be the finished article, but he should be making progress. Happy birthday to Emil Smith-Rowe, I believe turns 20 today as well. On that note, though, people, it's always a pleasure. DG.